The first console I ever had was the Nintendo 64, and among other classics like Super Mario 64, Mario Kart 64, Donkey Kong 64, and The World Is Not Enough 64, I had these two beautiful gemstones. These two diamonds in the rough that I played more than any other game on that system. Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 2. Mario Party 1 being my game of choice because I was a dumb Texas 5-year-old who still picked his nose and sucked his thumb, sometimes simultaneously. Mario Party 1 was the first game that I was truly good at. I'll money match any scrub that thinks they can beat me. 50 turns, all items, Wario's Battle Canyon. Those first two Mario Party games turned me into this vile, grotesque, disgusting creature you see before you today. They got me hooked. From there, I played every Mario Party game under the sun, with the exception of Mario Party Advance, because even grotesque, disgusting, vile creatures have their limits. And so when the first trailer for Super Mario Party was revealed at the first day of E3 in 2018, I was all... And when the Nintendo Treehouse gameplay dropped 2 days later, I was all... And the first time I played, I was all... And 2 weeks later, my stance on the game became what it currently is today, which is a solid... Super Mario Party was the first game that truly disappointed me since the last story on the Wii back in 2012. I spent $30 on this. It should have been the culmination of 20 years of trial and error, yet instead of being satisfied with solving most of the issues that have plagued the series, it decided to take the extra step in creating brand new problems for the series to solve in Super Mario Party 2. So let's make a Mario Party game. A good Mario Party game. Over the course of however long this takes, I'm going to look through each mainline Mario Party game. So no Mario Party Advance, Mario Party DS, Mario Party Island Tour, Mario Party Star Rush, and Mario Party The Top 100. To see what works and what doesn't work in each game. Then after we dissect them all, we're gonna make our own Frankenstein's Mario Party game. These aren't going to be in-depth reflections or retrospectives on the game now. They're going to be quick, short dissections that really showcase the peaks and valleys of each entry in the series. So let's get things started with the game that started this plague on humanity, known in some circles as Mario Party. Mario Party 1 was released on February 2nd, 1999 in North America to the chirping of crickets by both gamers and critics alike. Okay, it was alright, but noticeably just alright. Anyway, Mario Party 1 has 8 boards, 6 playable characters, and 50 minigames, which is an interesting combination of those numbers. I'm always down for a lot of boards, but a lot of them are pretty stinky. While doing the research for this video, I realized that Mario Party board types can be easily split into categories. The first category is the layout of the board, which can either be a straight line, a bunch of circles, or an imitation of the Boston Road system. The second category is how you obtain stars, which can either be by star hunting, where the star moves after a player buys it, a static star location, where the star stays put, or through a unique gimmick, which we'll cover case by case. Here's a real quick summary of the Mario Party 1 boards. Peach's Birthday Cake. Straight line static star board. Worst board in the game. Bowser can trap you in an infinite and the whole board is lame. Also, the music taunts you for playing a shitty board in a shitty Mario Party game. Oh no, did I say that out loud? Wario's Battle Canyon is my favorite board in Mario Party 1 because I hate myself and don't want my friends to have fun. It's a circular star hunting board and it... son of a bitch. Mario's Rainbow Castle. Straight line static star board. It's boring and offers barely any player agency. Yoshi's Tropical Island. Circular static star board. Slightly better than Mario's Rainbow Castle because Bubba keeps tricking Toad. And God bless Surfing Bowser. DK's Jungle Adventure. Bostonian Star Hunting Board. Simple, forgettable board that flexes on poor players and allows Bowser to gatekeep a star. Luigi's Engine Room. Bostonian Star Hunting Board. Similar to DK's Jungle Adventure, but the blue-red door aspect is just awful and the whole board is poorly constructed. Also, Boo gets hit far too frequently. Boo should be here. Bowser's Magma Mountain. Straight line star hunting board. Straight line and star hunting don't really mix well because if the star spawns behind you, you're kinda out for the count. The board is basically chutes and ladders except Bowser can steal stars, which is bullshit. Eternal Star. Bostonian Unique Gimmick. Best board in the game, which admittedly isn't saying too much. Warp panels are random and you get stars by going to Baby Bowser, of which there's 7 on the board, and giving him 20 coins to challenge him to a roll-off. You roll an 8 to 10 die and he rolls a regular dice block. Winner gets a star. Once all 7 Baby Bowsers are gone, they all reset in the same spot. The only bad thing about this map is that both Bowser and Baby Bowser have the ability to steal stars. You'll notice that aside from Eternal Star, none of the boards score above a 5 out of 10. To Mario Party 1's credit, it's the first of its kind, and the fact that there are 8 boards, while none all that great,
is still impressive. What's not impressive is that there are only 50 minigames, and a lot of them are bad. But mainly there's just too many coin minigames. Out of the 24 4-player minigames, 6 of them are coin, 5 out of the 10 1v3 minigames are coin, and 1 out of the 5 2v2 minigames are coin. What it comes down to is that there just aren't enough minigames. It's almost a guarantee that you'll play at least one minigame more than once per game, like 5 2v2, and a couple of the 1v3 minigames would just work better as 2v2, like tug of war and paddle battle. And then a couple 1v3 are just so lazy, like pipe maze and coin block bash. And bash and cash is just a cruel, sick joke of a minigame. And then there are 2 co-op 4-player minigames, which is just weird. Like, why? There's also no luck minigames. And in 1v3 and 2v2 minigames, a lot of the time the loser loses coins. In 1v3 games, if the one player loses, they lose 15 coins and the 3 other players each win 5 coins, and vice versa. Whereas in 2v2 minigames, the losing team loses 10 coins while the winning team wins 10 coins. Meaning that for the minigame bonus start, you can have a negative total. Mario Party 1 is barbaric.
But speaking of Mario Party 1's barbarism, how could I forget about control stick spinning. This is not meant to be spun, and in order to spin it fast, you gotta do this. Which is the #1 way to exfoliate your palm, and it hurts. It hurts so much that Nintendo had to send dumb little kids who kept hurting their hands gloves so that they'd stop hurting their hands. Which is why Mario Party 1 will never be re-released.
Now you might be thinking to yourself, well, that's only 39 minigames, what about the other 11? Well, one of them is a dumb unlockable minigame you get by completing the single player mode, but the other 10 comprise the worst aspect of Mario Party 1. But I'm gonna save that for talking about the overall pros and cons of Mario Party 1. However, before we get to that, let's talk about the various other modes the game has to offer. The single player experience in this game, Minigame Island, is rather lackluster. It basically just entails you playing all 49 minigames, along with Slot Car Derby twice, and grants you with Bumper Ball Maze Course 1. Course 2 if you actually go out of the way to beat all the minigames. It's pretty lame, and I beat it in just under 2 hours. The only other 4-player mode that Mario Party 1 has to offer is the Pot of Skills, which is basically a minigame tournament. It's alright. Nothing special. But that's everything content-wise in Mario Party 1. Now what I'm going to do is run through all the pros and cons of the game, and then make a list of all the elements that should be kept in our Frankenstein's Monster Mario Party. Pro. I really like the random dice block aspect. These are the dice blocks that you can buy from the mushroom shop that will randomly appear instead of the regular dice block when you roll. These include a die where you gain coins equal to the number that you roll, a die where you lose coins equal to the number that you roll, a die that only has a 1 to 3 on it, a die that only has an 8 to 10 on it, and a die that warps you with another player at random. These blocks just add a lot of random BS to the game, which is always great. And the fact that you can pick and choose what blocks you want is just mwah. The only thing is that the warp block is a little excessive and just works better as an item. Maybe if you could roll the regular die after you warp it would be alright, but as it stands it's kind of a wasted turn. Pro. I like that passing the start of the board gives the player 10 coins, 20 coins during the last 5 turns. It's a nice mechanic that allows players that aren't doing too well to still have an influx of coins. Pro. Bowser is properly brutal. Bowser's events include giving him coins, having the players play a minigame where the losers lose an amount of coins, dividing everyone's coins evenly, or having a weighted chance time in his favor. He just has a really solid repertoire of events, and he doesn't steal stars when you land on his space, which is ideal. Pro. I like how Boo can appear on hidden blocks. It's just a nice mix-up. Pro. This game has one of the best versions of chance time in any Mario Party game because it's all in your hands. There's a level of agency here that just doesn't exist in future games, and the fact that a chance time space appears where the star space was previously means that you're going to be hitting a whole lot of chance time. Con. No items. This is a big one. No items means that the only thing coins are used for are stars, Boo, and board-specific events. It also means that it takes forever to move around the board and that there is next to no strategy when it comes to board play. Without items, the game just feels a little empty. Con. Mushroom spaces. These are a prime example of growing pains. When players land on these, they roll a die. If it lands on a regular mushroom, the player gets to roll again. If it's a poison mushroom, they lose their next turn. During a 20-turn game, if you roll one poison mushroom, you lose 5% of your rolls throughout the game, which is crazy. Con: Bowser being on the board is a little too brutal. He takes a minimum of 10 coins on every board, up to 40 on Mario's Rainbow Castle, and on Bowser's Magma Mountain and Eternal Star, he has the ability to steal a star from players if they pass him, as do the baby Bowsers in Eternal Star if you lose the roll-off. In my opinion, stars should not have the ability to leave play. Players losing stars to other players is fine because they're still in play, but when they leave play through a third party, it just puts a bad taste in my mouth. Con: No Waluigi. But it's understandable in this game as he didn't even exist back then. Not only that, but the roster of playable characters is a little lackluster, with it being just Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, and Wario. But at the same time, there's no character here where I'm like, what the hell? Con: No stars and hidden blocks. It's the most trivial complaint that I have, but it just does not feel like Mario Party without hidden block stars. Con: No taunts either. The game feels pretty empty without players incessantly taunting each other. Con: One-player minigames. One-player minigames. This is the worst mechanic in Mario Party 1. I don't know whose bright idea it was to put these in the game, but they comprise 20% of the minigames in Mario Party 1. 20%. There are 2 one-player minigames for every 2v2, but beyond that, they decimate the normal pacing of a Mario Party game. Each one-player minigame takes around a minute or so to complete. That is 1 minute where Mr. Mario Party goes, "Okay, you 3 don't get to play, just sit back and watch Luigi play the slots now." Mario Party, as the name might suggest, is a party game. With that being said, one-player minigames are pretty much the equivalent of going over to your friend's house to play solitaire and ignore him. In my experience while getting footage for the video, I concluded that one-player minigames comprise 5% of total gameplay. Here's the math. Now, 5% doesn't sound like that much, and admittedly it isn't, but without one-player minigames, Mario Party 1 games would end, on average, 2 minutes and 15 seconds sooner than they normally do, which is 2 minutes and 15 seconds that you wouldn't have to play of this shitty game. Damn it, I said it again. Also, if you are so lucky as to get Whack-A-Plant as your one-player minigame, you get an unfair advantage towards the minigame bonus star, as all one-player minigames count towards the minigame star, and even the most brain-dead player can get at least 20 coins in Whack-A-Plant, the equivalent of a 2 minigame advantage over the other players. Basically what I'm getting at is that I hate one-player minigames and everything they stand for. And that is Mario Party 1. It's not a great game, but I still thoroughly enjoy it. And if you're thinking to yourself, man, this must be the absolute worst entry in the Mario Party series, then boy, do I have a surprise for you. So what aspects are worth salvaging? Well, the random dice are cool, chance time is perfect, the Koopa Go mechanic is nice, and boobing and hidden blocks is pretty neat. It's, admittedly not too many, but it is a lot more than I was expecting. Next time we'll be looking at Mario Party 2, which, while being a vast improvement over the original, always seemed a little overrated to me. Regardless, I'm very excited to play that, as getting the footage for this video really drained me, and I just want to play a good Mario Party game. Take care.